we got the people out there. Sha Li is a pseudonym to protect the identities of people who inspired characters. She lives and breathes and would love to hear from you on Facebook at Sha Li or ShaAuthor.com.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming to my chat at the Ashland Literary Festival today. I'm going to read to you some excerpts and also share with you some images that I've pulled off the internet that I think represent my characters. Ronald ZHAO's rescue. In Fengdu, May 3rd. When Ronald ZHAO falls overboard, he doesn't hit his head on the way down. Instinctively, protectively, he tucks and curls, banging his shoulder and taking another hit on his back before dropping into the strip of river between two cruise vessels. The current pulls him under and he bobs up to the surface many meters downstream, feeling energy draining from the gash on his arm. The sky above is black and dead looking, stars and moon obscured by clouds. Faint lights flicker on the shore, if only he could get there. May 4. In the morning, downstream from the quay at Fengdu, Jimo is up early. She's up early every morning, only decent time of day, before the rain. She cuts fresh willow saplings to strip and weave into baskets. Jimo likes living by herself, on the edge of the marshy wasteland where people leave her alone. Jimo's dog, her only companion, barks at something at the edge of the water. It is the naked body of a man. Throwing down the willow branches in her arms, she rolls the body over. A gaping wound on his arm no longer bleeds, but is white and rubbery. The man's eyes twitch and his blue lips part in a mute plea. She shifts the man onto a woven mat of strong reed fibers, steps between two poles and drags him through the marshy margin of the river to her home. There she cleans the wound with baijiu and binds his arm with an herbal-soaked bandage. After the brief sign of life at the river's edge, the man lapses into a deep sleep. Jimo was born with a birthmark covering half her face. Abandoned by her mother, she grew up solitary but independent. With no husband or family, she has to be strong or perish. The joy of motherhood is a vain dream long forgotten. Only rude boys pay her attention. This man in her one-room shack with a fine gold chain and key around his neck is someone's lover or husband or father or son. In the days following, the weather turns wild. Thunderstorms well up, not just in the afternoons, but at night too. Landslides block villagers in the mountain passes for weeks. Torrents wash out the smaller bridges, cutting off people from each other. Jimo watches the river rise through the marsh and worries that her feeble shelter will be blown away by the wind or washed away in the flood. In the nearby mountains where a two-lane bridge fails, one sedan, 3 minivans, and 1 SUV fall into the water below. 3 people are pulled from the raging river, 6 remain missing, following the bridge collapse, forcing thousands to flee. For days, the man drifts in a semi-comatose state. The floating feeling persists. Lights and sounds appear far off. When Jimo raises his head and forces broth between his cracked lips, his body rejects more than slips down his throat. Jimo is not discouraged. He is no longer pale blue. She sponges his face, inspects the wound, massages his feet and hands, and covers him with a quilt before going outside to split and soak willow branches. Jimo returns to the shack to find the man sitting up on the pile of rags that is his bed. His almond eyes are wide open but confused and not comprehending. "You are awake. Can you speak?" The man looks at the bandage on his arm and back to the woman, mumbling, and reaches toward a bowl of cold rice. Soon he is strong enough to walk outside and sit in the sunshine. Jimo trades baskets for a pair of man's pants, a shirt, and sandals. He goes with her to collect reeds. He can carry twice as much as she, but the words come slowly, and when they do, the dialect is foreign to Jimo. The man can't remember anything about the river. He touches the key on the chain and frowns from the effort of remembering. I wish I could remember. I must be someone. All I want to do is remember. So we get to meet Ronald ZHAO. He fell overboard on a cruise ship in the previous book. He was such a popular character. As a secondary character, I had to kill him in the second book, but that was so upsetting to my readers. I figured out a way to bring him back. So, anyway,